wild scene last night or early this morning as the Pirates' Pedro Florimon tripled off the Clemente wall on Roberto Clemente's birthday, scoring Francisco Cervelli. In the bottom of the 15th, the Pirates walk off with a win over the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's the finale of the series, the rubber match tonight from PNC Park, the Pittsburgh Pirates against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Good news, the Pirates just 5 back now of the St. Louis Cardinals. They gain a game as well over the Chicago Cubs, 3 up on Chicago. Greg Brown along with Steve Lass coming your way from PNC Park on a Star Wars theme night that we'll get to in just a moment. But Steve, what a job by the Pirates bullpen. Mark Melancon, yeah, blown save, a couple of errors, costly, but the bullpen took over from there.
In the big picture, they have been doing it all year. What a job they did last night. But take a look, 17 straight decisions. That's unheard of. 15 games this month. Take a look at the ERA. The greatest thing of all, 3/4 of a season, 19 inherited runners have scored against this bullpen. I used to think the foundation of a Major League Baseball team was a starting rotation. I'm starting to believe who has the best bullpen is going to win.
Our Barrel Automotive League leaders using the Force for good on a Star Wars theme night. And we're coming your way from Three River Stadium. And what do you think of this, Steve? No, Steve. No, you can't say that. No, you can't put it on TV. Along the banks of the Allegheny River, the Pirates tattooing the ball, getting ready to take on the Diamondbacks in the finale of the series coming up next.
On Root Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota helps you get the most out of your drive. Just ask a friend who drives one. Toyota, let's go places. And by Barrel Automotive, we're driven to be better. Let's go Bucks.
And welcome back to PNC Park.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. They're out tonight.
You know the force is with you.
Yeah, I believe that. After last night, yeah. I enjoyed playing Chewing Tobacco, whatever his name is. I was hoping a little bit more for Brad Pitt, but...
Buccos take the field.
After a long, long night, but when you have those kind of games and you win, it takes a little bit of the tiredness away.
Check out the starting lineup for the Diamondbacks. Ender Inciarte will lead things off. Nick Ahmed follows. Paul Goldschmidt. Last 9 games with runners in scoring position, batting .471. A.J. Pollock hits cleanup. Switch hitting catcher Jared Saltalamacchia follows, and it's Jake Lamb, Yasmani Tomas, Chris Owings, and Robbie Ray. Yoda action.
Yeah.
Here's the force at PNC Park.
This crowd is into it. Let's hope that Jay Happ is into it. And the Hyundai numbers for Jay Happ, the left-hander, making his 3rd Pirate start. The first one was a disappointment. The second one was much, much better. And you take a look at the strikeouts. 10 innings of work, basically. 13 strikeouts, just 3 walks. So those numbers very, very good when you consider it was a very rough beginning. And I still think, whether it's a rookie or a new acquisition, as you take a look at Michael Morris at first base, that
defense brought to you by Honda with Sean Rodriguez at second, Jung Ho Kang, Aramis Ramirez on the left side, Marte McCutcheon, Polanco on the outfield left to right, and Francisco Cervelli doing the catching.
Yeah, getting back to Happ just for a moment, when you get a rookie or a guy making his first appearance with a new ball club, you kind of give him a bogey. You don't really make a lot of judgments first time out. So put that one aside. Last one was good. We hope that he can build on that. And he's going to be challenged by a very, very good hitting Arizona team.
Francisco Cervelli, I mean, what more can you say about what this guy has done for the Pirates this year? And how about catching all 15 innings last night, 4 for 7. Some surprise to see him in the starting lineup, but you know, Clint Hurdle balancing that whole situation. Cervelli is feeling good. They did a nice job of resting him much of the first part of the season, and he crushes left-handed pitching.
Well, also, on top of all that you're talking about, his trip around the base paths to score the winning run on a ball hit, off the wall, but that's a long trip after catching that many innings and doing that much work for a catcher. He still had a little something in the tank left.
Of course, there's Pedro Florimon, who brought him home with the triple off the right field wall, and for his efforts, he was designated for assignment today. And that's because the Pirates used up all that pitching. The Diamondbacks did the same thing. They had to call up another pitcher. Pirates hopeful that Florimon will return to the organization. There's a bunt try, and there's Cervelli right away. Tested and passes that test.
He's passed most of them this year.
Inciarte tries to bunt for a hit.
The only test he hasn't passed, excuse me, is getting that razor close to the face. He's got pretty good growth going there. I'm still a little guttural from that
chewing tobacco.
Open. Yeah, chewing tobacco open.
Francisco Cervelli catching Jay Happ. Here's Nick Ahmed. And he bounces it to the left side. 3 infielders there. Gone. 2 outs.
Well, along with the theme, Happ solo. Well, solo means by yourself, so he can stay out there by himself for about 6 or 7 innings. That would be huge for Clint Hurdle. R2D2, our runs times 2, defense twice as good as we want to have it.
Starling Marte had a big assist, league leading 11th assist, throwing out the pitcher, the reliever, who ended up with a base hit and tried to stretch it into a double. Keith Hessler leading off the 15th inning, a game that went 5 hours 11 minutes. The Pirates have won 8 straight extra inning games now. Here's Paul Goldschmidt. He was 1 for 4, walked 3 times last night, drove in a first inning run, and it was, of course, his ball that was hit to the right side of the infield with 2 outs and 2 on in the top of the 9th inning. Jung Ho Kang was charged with an earlier error, allowing the first man to reach in the 9th inning. was Ender Inciarte. It was a tough error, but Goldschmidt then hit the line drive shot, one hopper to Sean Rodriguez. With 2 outs, hit off Rodriguez's glove and then into the right field corner, allowing 2 runs to score. Goldschmidt himself made a fine defensive play on the line drive hit by Gong.
Yeah, did he ever? It was a line drive. The play was good enough when he just caught it. It was a sensational grab, but then the presence of mind quickly to go to second base to get the double play. Didn't have to take time to think about it.
Andrew McCutchen doubled off.
Yeah, that's the kind of play that you think, if I get a line drive, I got to do that. You can't do it if you take time to think about it.
Gung's reaction probably didn't sit well with many in the dugout, but Clint Hurdle said he didn't see it. And he said, I'd like to have cameras follow us around all day long, and you'll realize that these guys are very competitive. I prefer that we get mad, not sad.
It's not the first helmet that's been thrown.
Strike 3 called.
And he knew it.
A 10-pitch inning for Jay Happ. Far away. Play on words on the Star Wars theme night.
All kind of themes running around.
Gregory Polanco will be leading things off as we check out the Pirates starting lineup, brought to you by Toyota. Then it's Sterling Marte and Andrew McCutchen. Ramos Ramirez hits cleanup. Jung Ho Gung bats 5th. Then it's Francisco Cervelli once again behind the plate. Michael Morris plays first base. Sean Rodriguez at second. Jay Happ on the hill against Robbie Ray.
Left-hander, still considered to be a rookie. 23 years old, out of Brentwood, Tennessee, 6'2", 195 pounds. Originally drafted by the Washington Nationals back in 2010. A little time with the Detroit organization, now a Diamondback. 3-8, 3.29 ERA. One decision against the Pirates last year, a loss.
Gregory Polanco, 2 for 7 last night. His 2 hits so far in this series. Well, let's hope so, because the Pirates on a nice streak with the Cannonballs.
Yeah, Ray's done a pretty good job. 15 starts. He's given up 6 home runs.
And still coming across the Clemente Bridge.
Yep, to the Galaxy on the north side. Last time out against the Atlanta Braves, it was a loss for Robbie Ray. 4 1/3 innings, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, did not record a strikeout.
.25 walks, 71 strikeouts, and 82 innings for Robbie Ray. Steve mentioned originally drafted by the Nationals in the 12th round 5 years ago, and a strike is called. It's 3-2.
Kind of a grizzled look. He doesn't look like he's 23 years old and a rookie.
Did appear in 9 games for the Tigers last season. 6 starts. Still 3-2. The 95-mile-per-hour fastball. .348 hitter this month of August. That is 5th in the National League. He's hit safely in 11 of his last 12 games. And spoils another pitch. In terms of batting against left-handed pitching, hitting .224 on the season, but much better over the past few weeks. That's another reason why Clint Hurdle said he's got him in there against the lefty. The only left-handed batter versus Robbie Ray.
Ray has not recorded a win in his last 6 starts.
Got a piece of it. Foul tipped into the mitt of the catcher, Saltalamacchia. Polanco down on strikes.
Yep, would have been ball 4.
Got him to chase. Close to being trapped, but Saltalamacchia, as you can see on the Allegheny Health Network, Supermo picked it before, or caught it before he needed to pick it out of the dirt. Now Starling Marte, in his 14th home run of the year last night, had been a long drought and not homered since July the 1st. And he is the real menace for the Diamondbacks. He's hit safely in all 18 career games played against Arizona. Jeremy Hellickson started the first game of the series. 5 1/3, gave up a run on 3 hits, got the win.
He did a heck of a job with his breaking ball. Really had the Pirates way out in front pretty much the whole ball game. Off balance, a lot of early swings, a lot of comfortable outs.
Last night's starter Chase Anderson was optioned down. We mentioned that they needed bullpen help. They brought up Zach Godley from Double-A, and a strike 3 call.
Giving up that inside corner. You see where Saltalamacchia is setting up right on that edge. You'll get that call a percentage of time, especially when the catcher is sitting right there with the glove and it doesn't move much.
Josh Wall has had big league experience. He is a new addition to the bullpen with Pedro Florimon designated for assignment. And Pirates hinting as though the next move will involve Josh Harrison. The Indianapolis Indians are off today. The Harrison expected to play tomorrow, and then we could see Jay back on Friday, and a couple of days later perhaps Jordy Mercer. 1 ball 1 strike on Andrew McCutchen. A couple of hits in last night's ball game. Steve, is that your brother?
Yeah, my twin brother. That's regular tobacco, not chewing tobacco. Got it going on now.
I like your mask better than his, by the way.
Well, you know, it's a little more.
That's overdone.
Yeah, it's a little more form fitting. This is yeah. See, there's a lot of moving parts there.
You could probably breathe in that thing.
Yeah, probably could. Not a lot of claustrophobia in that one.
All you could do, Steve, was kind of scream.
Well, isn't that what Mr. Baca does? Doesn't he
Chewy?
Yeah, Chewy.
Yeah,
Chewy Baca. Yep.
I got to tell you that the folks in the truck, the trailer, were pleased. The producing, the directing, the film crew with your one take that you did. Very nicely done. George Lucas would be proud.
One take. My throat feels like it's in a barn fire right now. Yeah, one take.
All the work that went into that. We thank the entire crew that helped produce our Open.
Got a hairball in my throat from that outfit.
Three and two. And Robbie Ray was about ready to go into the windup and then stopped. Pirates have a 2-out base runner. Andrew McCutchen is aboard. A 2-out walk. Robbie Ray walks McCutchen and now faces Aramis Ramirez. Ray, after being drafted in the 12th round 5 years ago, Steve mentioned he spent some time with the Tigers. He was actually dealt to Detroit for Doug Fister.
He's also involved in one of the trades involved Steve Lombardozzi.
Lombardozzi and he were traded for Fister, along with Ian Kroll in that deal December of 2013. Aramis Ramirez playing in his 21st Pirates game. Sacrifice fly, 1 for 2 and a walk last night.
By the way, we see a good live fastball from Robbie Ray. Inside, set up by Saltalamacchia. A little too far inside.
.263 batter is Ramirez since joining the club. McCutchen on base again, piling up those walks, continuing to improve on that high on base percentage number. 400 on base percentage for Andrew McCutchen. He's 5th in the National League. He's also 10th in slugging in the senior circuit, and now has drawn 66 walks. Only 4 players in the league have drawn more free passes. There he goes. It's fouled back out of play.
Well, the Pirates will not see a lot of subtlety like they saw with the first 2 Arizona starters, Hellickson and Chase Anderson. This guy's got a really good fastball. Andrew, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is a good jump. Start counting the steps before the ball is released. The Ray's going to be more of a swing and a miss type pitcher. Chase Anderson with his really good changeup. Hellickson with a good curveball. See more heat tonight.
Fly ball to left field, hit pretty well. Inciarte back to the warning track, and he holds on. What a catch! What a catch by Ender Inciarte. On the dead run to the wall, robs Ramirez of extra bases, and the Pirates of an early run. Ender Inciarte.
Get much better than that. theft in left field. Cincinnati never quit on this ball. This ball did not have a lot of height on it. It had some, but not enough to go back and measure the ball. Dead run, wasn't afraid of the warning track or the wall. That's a top-notch play. There aren't a lot of left fielders that will commit to go that far back. They'll back off, take the bounce. He did not. Appreciation, as a pitcher should have, for that kind of play. That's commitment. A lot of guys, you know, are afraid of commitments. He wasn't.
A.J. Pollock hitting .312, sixth best in the league.
Okay, well, that'll get scary in a few days. The sliver of the moon. Is that the dark side of the moon?
Endor. Galaxy far, far away, Steve.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just the moon.
Oh, maybe it was.
But it was far away. I've read that.
2-1 on Pollock. Saltalamacchia on deck. Jay Happ, much better indeed. Had a working with a 1-0 lead his last time on Friday against Bartolo Colon. Milwaukee had a first-inning home run at Citi Field on Friday night, and Happ let that stand until Yoenis Cespedes led off the 6th inning with a home run. 1 out later after a flyout and a Daniel Murphy double. He was given the quick hook, and Clint Hurdle has said that with guys like Happ and Jeff Locke and with a full bullpen, he's liable to do that. And Happ walks Pollock to start the 2nd.
Well, also you take an overview of that start against the Mets as the dust settled. 5 1/3 innings, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. I mean, those accompanying numbers, very, very good. Ray Surge had to be pleased with all that.
Want to see your strongest fan photos? So use the hashtag #PitDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself on an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile.
You'll see some tonight. You'll see some candidates.
Yeah. Pollock with 29 stolen bases. The Diamondbacks, as we have talked about the first 2 games of the series, steal a bunch. Second in the league.
Yep, Cincinnati.
And Cincinnati's first because of Billy Hamilton, whereas the Diamondbacks spread it out. And a bunch of guys that can run.
The Pirates, because of Cervelli and some help from his pitchers, threw out a couple of base stealers, potential base stealers in the first game, and that'll help shut it down. Good work by Francisco on a couple of great throws.
Billy Hamilton, by the way, landed on the disabled list with a shoulder injury after a great diving catch last night. Yep, Francisco Cervelli did it all last night.
Flinch towards second. Yep, Manny Gonzalez behind the plate. He has Ryan Blakeney, Field and Culbreth, the crew chief, and Jim Reynolds with him.
Two and one on Saltalamacchia. 202 overall, but in 36 games with Arizona, hitting .242. Has had 2 pinch hit singles the first 2 games of the series. Two and two. Saltalamacchia was playing with the Marlins, signed a free agent contract December of 2013, but they released him earlier this summer. It's a full count. And an early big pitch in the game for J. Happ against Saltalamacchia.
So far his control has been very good. Just a total of 3 walks in these first 2 starts, but got to grab himself a strike right here.
Pollock looked like he was thinking about going for the previous pitch. He's figuring to go now. Nope, stays. Still 3-2.
What a challenge when he first came up. Saltalamacchia. Now we get Enciarte. Well, do the best I can with those names.
Next 2 of us.
Jake Lamb, by the way, in the Diamondbacks Open.
And it remains 3-2. Really struggled with the Marlins this year. Parts of 4 seasons with Boston, came to the big leagues 8 years ago with Atlanta. And he fouls off another 3-2 pitches thrown by Happ, 3 foul balls by Saltalamacchia. Stormtroopers are ready. Maybe looking for some droids.
They are sinister looking, I'll tell you.
Well, they've decided.
Yeah, a couple qualifiers there. They haven't made it out to the big group yet.
And it's first and second. 2 walks.
Lamb coming up. He had a home run the first game of this series.
Lamb hit that home run off the righty Garrett Cole. Solo shot. Garrett Cole.
Boy, is he anxious to get out there again. It has been a drought for Garrett.
He'll oppose Chris Heston of the Giants on Saturday afternoon.
Trying to find a way to get that 15th win.
There's a strike on Lamb. The home run, the 1 hit in the series, 1 for 8. Did not start last night. Pinch hit in the 9th inning and had 4 at bats. Was 0 for 4. Now Happ gets out in front 0-2. The veteran left-hander J. Happ.
Yep, 55 major league wins, 60 losses. As you said, 1-1 record in 4 starts against these Diamondbacks career-wise.
Came to the big leagues with the Phillies. 3rd round pick by Philadelphia back in 2004. With Seattle this year was 4-6 with a 4.64 ERA. The Pirates sent minor league pitcher Adrian Sampson to the Mariners at the deadline. Chop off. There's 1, 2.
Perfect. You can't draw it up much better than that. A high bounce right at second base or near second base for your infielder.
Pollock goes to 3rd. 2 outs. Chick-fil-A double play.
Over the head of Happ, but close enough to second base. You don't have to give a pivot throw. Get the ball, get the base. There it is.
Jung-Ho Kang takes that chopper. Pollock at 3rd now with 2 outs. Yasmani Tomas was 1 for 7 in the game last night. Tomas had an 8th inning RBI single off Tony Watson. run was charged to Jared Hughes. Sensational work by Archimedes Caminero and Joe Blanton. 3 scoreless for Caminero and 3 shutout frames for Blanton, who got the win.
I was talking to Stan and Teague before the ball game about Caminero, watching him closely because he has such dynamic stuff, and you want to see him in pressure situations. And boy, did he respond last night. He was very, very impressive. Blanton has been a revelation.
Blocked by Cervelli. No swing.
Close, but no cigar on that one. This is the way you like to clean an inning up. You get off to a bad start, a couple of walks, you get the double play. Now you want to put the lid on it. So this will be a big deal for Jay Happ and the Pirates to leave that runner at third base, and they're going to do it.
Play made easily by Michael Morse. Good work. Jay Happ walks Pollock and Saltolomakia. The double play and the chopper to first on Star Wars night.
Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Chevy Traverse and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go Bucks!
And we move to the bottom of the second inning. 0-0 ball game. And look who's coming up. Kong Solo. Good job by the studio. Greg Hall.
Outstanding.
That. Yep.
Outstanding stuff.
Kong got his 10th home run of the year last night. First base coach is Rick Sofield. The first base coach is Nick Leyva. He said he was going to come out the first base coaching box in earmuffs. So look, this is what he would look like.
There it is.
The Princess Leyva.
This is it. I'll tell you. They're on it. They're on it. There's a hairdo. Yeah. Who's that? Carrie Fisher?
Yep.
Yep.
And he gets hit again. He takes first base. I don't know anybody that didn't see at least one of those Star Wars. What's 6?
You're looking at one.
What?
I didn't.
You knew. Carrie Fisher starred.
I've seen, advertising
Did a great
and articles
impersonation
about
of Chewbacca.
I have not seen one of those movies.
Really?
I have not. I know. So
Did
this
you see
is
the spoof?
a,
Did you see the spoof that was done on it?
No.
Spaceballs.
Oh yeah, Mel
you did
Brooks
see-
thing.
okay, you
yeah.
saw that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah. I do not miss any Mel
Oh, I
Brooks
know that.
stuff.
Yes, sir. George Lucas, different story. Of course, during our open, we referenced Three River Stadium because the first Star Wars out about 1977.
Yep.
So
You had it. You're on
all
it.
part of it.
You're on it. I'm going to buy the whole package now, and I'm going to watch all of them. How many were there?
6, I think.
They couldn't get it right.
Oh, they got another one coming out.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Francisco Cervelli with 4 hits last night. Cervelli leading the team with a .393 batting average against left-handed pitchers.
And we were really wondering what we were going to get with Cervelli when Russell Martin left. Everybody was concerned, and Martin was so good, and he really was. But I tell you, when you look at the whole picture now, we have not lost a step. We really haven't. Both. Great contributions to the Pirates. They joined the Bucks.
Cervelli had the 2-out RBI single in the 5th inning last night. As the sun sets, you get different reflections depending on the time of the year.
All of them beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautifully captured by our crew.
Cervelli's 2-out base hit in the bottom of the 15th led to the winning run. Got a text from a friend today. He said, as good a job as Florimon did, the triple off the wall and right, but are we kind of underrating Cervelli? 4 for 7 on those big hits, 15 innings caught, threw out 2 base runners at second.
You went through that whole package. I don't think we're short serving him. That is a full night. I mean, that's a body of work in one night.
Batting average of .307. Darth Vader
putting it on him.
He sure is.
Simple as that.
And Darth Vader. The hex works. I find your lack of faith disturbing. As Cervelli singles to right center.
Downstairs, out over the plate, doesn't try to pull it. Solidly hit to right center field, giving Gung time enough comfortably to get around to third base.
First and third, and nobody out.
They had action in the top of the second. The Pirates have better action with nobody out in the bottom half of the inning. Let's see if we can cash it in. Let's see who we got up there. May the Morse be with you.
Very good.
Of course.
May the Morse be with you. You're on it.
You got to step in line, boy.
Yep. For those who hadn't seen Star Wars at all, it's a play on words on the Force.
I do a lot of reading.
Nice job by Gong to read that hit. Moving to third. Infield at double play depth. Morse hit into a 6-4-3 ground out as a pinch hitter last night. Had a pinch hit single on Monday.
On the doorstep, Mr. Gong.
Coming inside on Morse. Making his 4th start at first base. You see the pitches.
Yep, trying to stay away from that straightaway power.
And again, 2-2.
Mike Harkey, pitching coach for the Snakes, looking on. Dave McKay, first base coach. The Chip Hale's staff.
Did he go? Yes, he did, but the Pirates are going to get a run out of it. On the wild pitch. 1-0.
Whatever it takes. Chases the pitch downstairs, but Saltalamacchia has no idea where it is. Comfortable trip on in for Jung Ho Kang. Pirates take the lead.
A strikeout wild pitch as Saltalamacchia can't keep it in front of him. Gong scoring. And moving to second, Francisco Cervelli. And here's Sean Rodriguez.
Sean looking for the fastball, a little bit out in front. Good looking breaking ball from Robbie Ray.
The 0-2 on Rodriguez. 0 for 3 last night. And that rare error. It snapped the string of consecutive saves recorded by Mark Melancon, a club record 35. But the Bucks went on to win it in 15. And a liner to right center field. Here comes Cervelli. It is 2-0.
Sean Rodriguez gets right back up on the horse. A little bit of a redeemer offensively. That's a big base hit RBI because you got the pitcher coming up. If you don't get it done there, represent the second out, they're going to pitch against Happ. Chances are you don't have any more action, but that changes everything. Still just 1 out. Keep Happ away from a double play. And you go back up to the top of the lineup, and they're expecting him to bunt with 1 out, as we all are. I'll tell you, Sean Rodriguez will tell you that that was an error last night. He should have made the play. He's playing deep enough. But you ask anybody else how hard that ball was hit by Paul Goldschmidt. I don't care how deep you are. That guy just hits the ball so hard, so hard. Now Harkey wants to talk with his rookie, Robbie Ray. You know, there are some pitchers that get a little antsy when somebody squares around. He's there. It's so obvious that there's going to be not a swing, but it's a different looking stance, and there's no rhyme or reason, but some pitchers do get a little antsy looking at a guy in a batter's stance that's a bunt stance. I remember as a young pitcher in the big leagues, I was. There was a couple things that got me. When I would pick up a ball and make a throw to second base. I just picked it up, and for some reason I got the ball. I wound up throwing like change-ups to have the ball back in my hand. It was a lot easier when I didn't have time to think about it. But when a guy squares around, it just, okay, you start consciously thinking, okay, I've got to throw a strike, rather than just going and having thrown a strike.
Back to the mound and a chance at second base, and they get the out. 1-6 as Happ fails to move Rodriguez.
I guess no scorers use the phrase force play anymore. Is that ever used?
No, that is a force play.
Yeah, they just said fielder's choice. No. Anyway,
his choice is to throw it to second and hit the force. So.
Yeah, and the force was with him.
Exactly.
Well, meanwhile, they get the lead runner. And you got a pitcher running the bases. Not that that's a factor if you hit the ball over the fence.
A wild pitch and an RBI single by Sean Rodriguez. And Polanco is a rebel fighter.
You know, we went 15 innings well into both bullpens. We know that. But Robbie Ray is going to throw his 47th pitch here in the second.
That's a lot in the second inning.
Well, chances are you're going to see more action out of the Arizona bullpen sooner than later. C3
Polanco.
Why wouldn't it be C3 25 Polanco? That is great. They're doing some great stuff.
Nice job, Greg. Back in the studio.
I mean, there's a wealth of characters to work with.
Yeah.
There they lined up. Wait a minute, is that the River Patrol with their scuba stuff? I don't
think so.
Okay.
3-1.
Thought those might have been some diving tanks. Don't look at me like that, Zach. That's a warning.
Checks. No, home plate umpire says he went. Randy Gonzalez. Now it's a full count. That's laced into left center field. That'll take off and go all the way to the wall. Jay Happ is going to be waved home. And Jay Happ will score on the Polanco double. 3-0.
Perfectly placed deep in left center field. Happ, running on the 3-2 two-out pitch, is able to come all the way around, and you have to perfectly place those kind of hits to get a pitcher around a base pass, and that's exactly what Polanco did. He's already at second base, not blinding speed, but really, well, kind of a late finish to the line, but he makes it as it's cut off.
Allegheny Health Network Super Bowl on the Polanco double to the left center gap. His 38th RBI, 24th double of the season. And now Marte will take a pitch or two. Or maybe not. His pitcher just ran from first to home with 2 outs. And he doesn't take a pitch for him.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible. Thank you, Starling. Yeah. If you could say something, he's out of breath, but he could say something. Give me a moment here, my man.
Cut off by the third baseman. Lamb is thrown, not in time. But Polanco is going to be caught between third and home and tagged out. So, an infield hit, and the Happ doesn't get much time to rest.
Marte's going to beat this out. But Polanco doesn't stop. 3-2, and then it's just a matter of time. Head down, never looked. Pirates get 3, but should have been still alive.
Talking to our old buddy Tommy Sant today, Steve. Long time, one of the big league player.
One of the best.
Was a minor league manager in the Pirates organization. Long time Pirates first base coach, infield instructor, base running coach for a while. And he said he was talking to Rich Donnelly a while back, who is now a coach for the Seattle Mariners. And this is a few years ago. And Rich Donnelly said almost every single night, a Major League Baseball game, you will see 3 base running mistakes. Almost every Major League game.
It's unfortunate.
It's throughout the game.
That doesn't excuse it, but that is a fact.
You had Andrew McCutchen coming to the plate, and you had the benefit of the infield hit by Marte.
And it, I don't know if it starts with it, but it's never good to run with your head down. You should be aware visually of what's going on around you, or trying to be aware of what's beside you, or what's going on. What's the situation? No, I don't want to ignore. Also, I want to go back to that base hit by Sean Rodriguez. That turned that whole bottom half of that inning around, and it changes the whole dynamic, because now you've got something going in the 8th spot, and it just keeps the ball rolling. If he doesn't get a base hit, your pitcher represents the 3rd out of that inning. You don't keep it going.
Jung Ho Kang started the inning with a base hit. Francisco Cervelli, the base hit, moving runners to 1st and 3rd. And then Michael Morse striking out on a wild pitch, allowing a run to score. Couldn't move up, by the way, if you're wondering why he didn't try to run himself. Morse at first base occupied, less than 2 outs. And he catches this ball. So Young scoring on the wild pitch. And then Sean Rodriguez, as Steve mentioned, the RBI hit. After the bunt failed, Polanco doubles home Happ. And Marte gets credit for an infield single. Polanco thrown out at the plate. 3-2-6. A lot of stuff happened in the bottom of the 2nd. 7 men to the plate. One on the pitcher, Robbie Ray. And a ground ball, base hit for Robbie Ray, his 2nd hit this season. Past the 3rd baseman, Ramirez. See, Ramirez well off the line, so no chance. Didn't try to stretch it into a double, had no chance there, of course. The ball that was hit last night in the 15th inning by Hessler, who's in the bullpen, reliever Keith Hessler. That ball went into foul territory, kicked off the short fence. He gave it a shot. He was thrown out by Starling Marte.
Yeah, well, you want your real good hitters to be aggressive.
To shallow left field, Marte with a 2nd out. Ciarte flies to left. Be a part of Faith Night tomorrow at PNC Park. It's presented by Chick-fil-A. Watch the Buccos and Giants meet at 7:05. After the game, Clint Hurdle and your favorite Pirates will speak about how faith has impacted their lives and their careers in baseball. Get tickets at pirates.com/faithnight. That was a good shot there of him yelling to Morris to watch the bunt. Mo. Ahmed. And normally, I guess, D, that would be the greatest play in the world to bunt with 2 outs, but you do have Goldschmidt on deck.
It'd be a long trip for Morris to come in where he's playing. But you can push the bunt by a left-hand pitcher who's following through the other way. If you would push a ball by Jay Happ right now, and nobody to get it for a while.
You can see where the second baseman Rodriguez is playing, over by the bag and on the grass.
This is the man you want. Let Mr. Goldschmidt lead off next inning.
Still 1-2 on Ahmed. Years old. This is Jay Happ. He bounced out against Happ in the first.
Jay trying to work him away and then in to find something that's going to work for this third out.
Robbie okay over there.
Yeah, well, he doesn't take any chances. He makes the plays he's supposed to.
That was ticketed for this young lady's head, and I'm very thankful it did not hit her.
Okay, editorial comment there.
Strike 3 call.
On the knees. Please.
Second strikeout for Jay Happ. Pittman arrives at PNC Park to spend the day with All-Star Andrew McCutchen. From the helicopter to the kitchen to the clubhouse and onto the field, go behind the scenes for this Wish Upon a Star and Inside Pirates Baseball presented by Allegheny Health Network tonight after postgame on Root Sports. Here it is 3-0. What a cool shot there. How about this now? That's Darth Maul holding the sign that says Maul, the D-backs, and that shot is being taken by our cameraman, Maul.
It all fits.
Yep. On the phone, I don't know
personal call
that is
from the Galaxy.
Yeah. Not sure about it.
Looks like he's spent some time in the Galaxy. Got his Pirate shirt on, ready to go.
Andrew McCutchen. You are messed up. Messed up human. McCutchen pops this one up. And
maybe. Yeah, stayed.
Tomas with room.
Most time those balls will keep slicing on over that short fence.
Third baseman,
the victim of a robbery coming up, Ramos Ramirez, robbed of a couple bases. And NCRT made a great catch from the first inning. No doubt about that call from Manny Gonzalez back at home plate.
That's a great shot. 1-2.
Kids at the ballpark.
Watch those eyes now. Watch.
Oh, yeah, Mom. Wait a minute. I was waiting for that one myself.
Yep.
Yeah,
okay.
You're all right.
Forget me. Now watch.
Dad's doing okay. Dad's got some choices.
Don't forget me. Here we go. Ramirez takes in the dirt. Almost got a piece of it. 2-2.
Happy feet. A little bit late, but still happy.
Ramirez is hitting .370 since August the 5th and just gets under that one.
It's going to be easier for NCRT.
Two outs. It'll bring up Jung Ho Gan. Allegheny Health Network injury update. Those two guys are close to returning. The number of games that they've played. Jordy Mercer, Josh Harrison. They are not playing tonight because the Indians are off tonight. They'll be back out there tomorrow. Josh Harrison played right field last night.
They'll be hitting better when they get back to the big leagues.
And a 1-2-3. Bottom of the third for Robbie Ray. It is 3-0 Pittsburgh. 8 pitches. Day Automotive date in Pirates history. 1973, Pirates beat the Giants 5-0. Jim Rooker, a 5-hit shutout, beat Juan Marichal. He gave up all 5 runs, lasted just 5 innings. Rook, great day at the plate. Went 3 for 3. Richie Hebner, Al Oliver, each homered. 5-0 shutout on this day in 1973.
Rook could hit. In fact, he signed with the Tigers as an outfielder when he first came out of high school.
Now look at this. Now asking in Spanish for a baseball. And you got it. Nicely done.
Used to just be Dame a pelota.
Very polite. I think it was intended for him, but I'm not sure he ended up with it, so I'm going to have to do some more work.
There you go.
That's what was missing.
Yeah.
For our open. You thought the mask itself was hot.
Yeah, the whole outfit.
0-2 on Goldschmidt.
Pirates do get him to lead off here in the 4th. Always a good thing. Crowd him inside. At least top 3 players in the National League, if not the best. He's up there.
So is he. And Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
Nolan Arenado in the discussion.
Take our chances with our guy. Yeah.
Had him played perfectly. A little bobble, but still time for Walker to get Goldschmidt or Rodriguez. It's Sean Rodriguez over there getting the start at second base. You knew that, Chewy. There's Walker.
Yeah.
Skywalker.
Get a handle on it. He's had trouble with balls hit by Goldschmidt.
Yeah. We talked about how hard he hits
everything.
Yep. So there's Neil Skywalker. Good sound effects too. Yep. The lightsaber. Oh man.
Is it a lightsaber or lifesaver?
Whatever. Two-0 on Pollock. Good crowd on a Wednesday night. Giants come to town tomorrow night. They are trailing at St. Louis 2-0 in the 4th. Stabbed by Happ. That ball was headed up the middle.
Nothing wrong with Jay Happ tonight, other than try to catch his breath after he does a lot of running. Doing just fine, putting up zeros here against a good hitting team. Had time to kind of measure that one. Nice high bounce, easy play.
Walked in the second. In fact, both A.J. Pollock and Saltalamacchia started that frame with bases on balls, but Happ got a double play and a ground out. Hit deep, but he just missed that one. Just missed sending that one well out of here. 1-2-3 for Jay Happ as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning. 3-0 Pittsburgh. hope you got a chance to see
I hope
Chewbacca in the open. Pirates lead 3-0 on Star Wars night. And Francisco Cervelli will lead off. He's ready. Cervelli singled after the leadoff base runner Gong was hit by a pitch. Two on Cervelli. His last dozen games here at PNC Park, he's hitting close to 500, 21 hits and 43 at bats.
That looks like a home run fence. Yeah, aim here. That's good. Home run line. The Cervelli just keeps on chunking right along.
Highest batting average of any catcher in Major League Baseball. Not in agreement.
Before by Ray. Technically just off that corner, but very close. Saw Francisco Cervelli in spring training, said all I want to do is play, and he's backed it up.
Michael Morse struck out in the second. During the strikeout, the wild pitch allowed Gong to score.
Oh, I wrote that down as a PB, pass ball. That was a WP.
Yeah.
Wild pitch. Okay.
There's an HB.
Yep.
Hit batter.
Yep.
And a base hit.
And 1B.
For Michael Morse.
Yep. There's only so much room on these scorecards. You got to use initials, and you got to do it.
You know, if you're gonna have Bob walk for president, you do a better job with a sign.
Yeah, you don't use
like
a beer case holder.
Last second idea there. How about president of the Ewoks?
Yeah, there you go.
Bob Ewok.
I'd back him.
He likes that one.
Yeah.
And that's hit hard by Sean Rodriguez. First and second with one out.
See if Jay Happ can get it done this time.
Still laughing. Yeah.
Yep. I'd send him out to Iowa for the primary right now.
Yeah. What would that guy do? Decide on his way into the ballpark to grab something out of the trash? Bob walk for president? I mean, come on, put some thought into it.
That was a case of brew in that before he started writing on it. And that's the whole sequence. He drank it all. He's easy to fill out.
Stormtroopers everywhere. So Happ bounced a bunt bat past the dirt circle right to the pitcher. His first time up, directly at Robbie Ray. Jay Happ won't be swinging away here, but he does have one career home run, and that was against the Diamondbacks 4 years ago. Past the first baseman, and that was a key.
Yep. And with the left-hand pitcher Robbie Ray kind of following through toward third base, he found the gap.
Kind of got away with it there.
Yep.
Rather than punting it toward the third baseman.
Yeah, because you see Goldschmidt's right on top of him.
They're really fortunate.
And the ball was in the air, so runner at second base, Michael Morris, he really can't take off right away because you don't know Goldschmidt's so close that he might catch a ball that's bunted that high right at him. So, yeah, it all worked out fine.
Two outs for Polanco, who doubled in a run in the second.
Nothing like two-out offense. See Goldschmidt, he's charging, but it goes beside him instead of at him. That takes all the sting, all the possibility of force out at third base away. Jay Happ has put up 4 zeros. He's done a great job so far. Live looking for the fastball, but getting a piece.
Still 0-2. Chopper. Boy, close play, but Ahmed knew he had to get rid of it quickly. He did. Pirates lead a couple, but lead 3-0. somebody steps up when someone goes down, and still trying for Souvenirs in left, Starling Marte. Now the game will have to wait until Marte retrieves it and points, and it's yours for the young fan. And there's a big smile.
Good selection,
yep.
Starling. That's always a winner right there.
Jake Lamb in the 5th. Ball, 1 strike.
There's just only so many baseballs going around for Souvenirs. Like to have one for every one of the kids, but just can't happen.
Yes, he did. 1 and 2. Well, here's the 5th inning for Happ.
He's been just fine. 3 base runners so far. No runs for the Arizona Diamondbacks. That's the bottom line. 4 shutout innings so far for Happ.
His last time out, he was facing the team who had the lowest batting average in the league, the New York Mets. This time, one of the top hitting teams in all of baseball. Diamondbacks have scored the most runs in the National League. 3rd in hitting. Batting average for Arizona of .264. A ton of extra base hits. So the alignment, big gap in left center for Lamb. The 3 infielders on the right side, pitching inside, and it goes to 3 and 2. Well toward left center field, but Marte is going to be there.
Big part of the ballpark. That ball would be a whole lot of trouble other yards, but not here. A lot of acreage.
Pirates and Giants meet this Saturday, 4:05 first pitch. The festivities start on Federal Street. The block party, live entertainment, food and games, plus the first 20,000 fans get a W.B. Mason collectible truck. And don't forget, every fan's always a winner on an Eden Park Scratch and Win Saturday. For tickets, go to Pirates.com. 4:05. Pirates and the Giants and those W.B. Mason trucks.
Who but W.B. Mason?
Yeah. Tomas lines it toward right. Just the second hit. The other hit belongs to the pitcher. He's still real good in the pitch department there at 67 for the game.
You know, Ray Searage and Clint Hurdle would love to get 6 innings out of Jay Happ tonight. 4 good ones so far. You know, I don't think any manager goes into a game with a starter and say, well, I'd like to get 5 or I'd like to get 6. You'd like your starter to have open-end opportunity. Have him go, you know, if he keeps going, have him go 7, have him go 8. So you don't want to put any restrictive estimates on him. Go till he stops getting people out.
Had a couple of really strong starts with Seattle on the year. His last time out before the trade got bounced around in Minneapolis. His first start was against the Cubs as a Pirate on the 4th of this month. Gave up 4 runs on 9 hits and 4 1/3. In front of Owings. Charlie Morton. We will see Charlie Morton go up against Jake Peavy tomorrow night. Jeff Locke seated next to him. He'll pitch that game on Friday against Madison Bumgarner.
Jake Peavy, his salad days were with the San Diego Padres. When he was younger, he was just really, really strong.
Strong catch here.
There you go. They're all calling for it, and
nice.
What a nice grab.
Wow. Excellent grab.
Yeah.
The Clemente jersey.
Time to jump right. A lot of traffic around him.
Heck of a play.
Sign him up, they used to say.
They used to actually walk down with fake contracts for fans. Give that fan a contract.
Yep. Familiar phrase.
Sometimes it gets pretty hot under that mask, so time for some root beer.
Looks like he's heading for Cape Canaveral, NASA.
I didn't know stormtroopers like root beer. I knew they liked popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Owings down on strikes.
Just the third, but comes at a good spot.
Owings is thinking he got a piece of that.
But no.
Well, here comes Chip Hale. Seven pitch at bat results in a strikeout. Hale back to the dugout.
Now let's see if we can get Robbie Ray out.
Strike one. Strike. J. Happ's third start since being traded from the Mariners. When A.J. Burnett went down, the Pirates had to really press for a starter. Made the trade, moving Happ into the rotation. Vance Worley had been designated for assignment. Worley has since rejoined the Pirates. Will make his second start for Indianapolis tomorrow night as they stretch him back out. Hoping to have an impact. Going to be an interesting last couple of weeks of August, but in particular what happens in September, who joins the team. The Pirates announced that they have come to an agreement with Travis Snyder, by the way. Snyder will start in the minor leagues for now. There's a force out at second, and J. Happ with 5 scoreless. Starling Marte will lead off the bottom of the 5th.
They try to win the series. I'm Robbie Mikowski. A.J. Burnett threw a no-hitter when he played for the Florida Marlins back in May of 2001. A few weeks before that, they played a series in San Diego. And one day he was shagging in the outfield during BP, and a young fan asked him if they can trade gloves while A.J. shagged. So he obliged and switched gloves with the kid. When BP ended, A.J. put a ball back in the kid's glove and threw everything back. The kid said that was the first time he'd ever seen a big league glove before and was wowed by the experience. That kid's name? It was a 13-year-old named Paul Goldschmidt. Yes, seriously. I talked with Goldschmidt today about it. He's a pretty soft-spoken guy. As I relayed the story after A.J. told me last night, he said, hey, it's a small world, isn't it? Paul Goldschmidt, 13 years old, traded gloves with A.J. Burnett just a couple weeks before he threw his one and only no-hitter, and said he still has the baseball somewhere. He doesn't know where, but he knows he has it.
Isn't that wild? You just never know. And this kid comes out to be one of the top players in baseball, and Paul Goldschmidt. And A.J. Burnett, a long, strong career, and Paul Goldschmidt will be around a long time as well. Goldschmidt with a toss to the pitcher, out at first.
You knew it was going to be close. That ball had a lot of English on it, and they were able to corral it, and then the race began.
There you see a bang-bang play. Goldschmidt on to Robbie Ray for the first out. How about A.J. Burnett? How about A.J. Juan Kenobi?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's a pretty good one there.
They're all good. They've all been great. Great catcher's mask.
Yeah.
That thing down there.
Vader. The experienced one. A line drive by McCutchen and a base hit. His third hit of the series, on base for the second time tonight.
That sign applies to a lot of people. A lot of people feel that way.
Ramirez hit a ball that looked like it was headed for the left field wall in the first inning with 2 outs. McCutchen at first, and Ender Inciarte made an outstanding catch on the dead run, approaching the wall. Last time up, Ramirez just missed hitting the ball out. Instead, hit a high fly ball. Has himself a little 4-game hitting streak going.
He still gets his money's worth when he turns it loose. Still a very strong swing. You're liking the Gateway Clipper heading on down the river.
Oh, picked off McCutchen. McCutchen picked off.
There's another scoring decision I always like. That's a caught stealing. He stopped.
Because he was heading forward. He was intending to steal. With 2 outs. McCutchen took off from first base in the first inning. The ball was fouled away by Ramirez. Going on Robbie Ray's First move, he's picked off, and the caught stealing means 2 outs. Pirates scoring their 3 runs in the 2nd inning. Sent 7 men to the plate. Robbie Ray, who was traded from Detroit to Arizona for D.D. Gregorius. And a roller to Owings. That'll do it for the Bucks. We played 5 innings. 3-zip.
Root Sports is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, Health for All. By Kenny Ross, Just Ask a Neighbor. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier of the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
On a Star Wars themed night, the pierogi race with the Stormtroopers at the finish line. What do you think, Steve?
Yep. Great. I'm a little afraid of those guys up in the back in the black outfits.
Yeah. Afraid of those guys?
No.
No?
No. Oliver bothers me a little bit.
Yes. Popped up. And the 6th inning begins with an Ender Inciarte fly out to left. Point Park University tweet. Ready to root on our Pirates? Star Wars night. From home, watching on Root Sports. He's got the bucko cap over the Darth Vader mask. Nice. Rubber match of the series. Bunt try, Happ off the hill. That takes care of Ahmed.
Very impressive work. Very, very impressive work. Couldn't push it far enough away from the pitcher.
Brings up Paul Goldschmidt, who has struck out and bounced out. A look at the bunt try. He needs some. Keep Goldschmidt away from any of the fireworks that he has displayed in the past. So far in this series, he has been fairly quiet. 0-1 on Goldschmidt.
I'm talking last night over on the radio side about his bat speed through the hitting zone.
Gets through there in a hurry.
Fly ball to left.
No problem.
How do you like Jay Happ through 6 scoreless? Third Bucko start. You happy?
Yep. And Happ solo.
Sixth. A.J. Burnett has the lightsaber in hand.
He's ready to use it, too.
You know, he'd be up for Star Wars night.
I think they caught a glimpse of Princess Leia up there.
Jay Happ going to get the hugs. He's done 6 strong innings. Oh, how about that? Nice. The Jolly Stormtrooper. That's very good.
Yeah, very, very good.
Jung Ho Kang has been hit by a pitch and bounced out.
Well, based on last night, should we suggest adding on a bit?
That's a good idea. You thought after his home run it was going to be pretty much a laugher, and he draws the free pass. Kang homered in the 7th inning last night to make it 8-3. Then Arizona with 3 in the 8th and the 2 unearned in the 9th, and it went 15 innings. Jay Happ in his 3rd Pirates start. A+, Steve?
Oh, A++.
And just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Jay Happ, 6 shutout innings. 2 hits. One was a ground single by Robbie Ray, the pitcher. Two walks. We're back-to-back starting the 2nd. Then he got a big double play off the bat of Jake Lamb. One strike.
Happ solo. We told you being out there all by himself for a long time. Really did a great job. Rivers Casino tips to win. So far, so good.
Those were the
brilliant
Rivers Casino tips to win that you had for us, Steve. And you also mentioned the R2-D2. Well,
runs, defense.
Yeah. Cervelli 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. The Pirates scoring 3 in the second off Robbie Ray. Two balls, 2 strikes. Joaquin Soria will be the new Pirates pitcher in the 7th inning. Because of the great jobs by Caminero and Blanton. Soria, Watson, Melanson available.
Beautiful, beautiful bullpen.
Pretty phenomenal record by the bullpen. Continues. Ball hit out of play. Relievers have won 17 straight decisions. The longest streak by any team, any major league team, since the 1909 Pirates bullpen ran off 22 straight winning decisions.
You know, I keep looking at that 1909. You didn't have that many relievers.
That's right.
And guys just pitched 15, 20 innings a night.
Double play ball. No wings to Ahmed to Goldschmidt.
Taylor made.
Two-way. Robbie Ray approaching the 100 pitch mark. He could be nearing the end of his night. Michael Morse has one of the 7 Pirates hits. Comenter is getting ready.
Wouldn't it be great if we could have a foul ball hit somewhere in the stands and somebody in full costume made the catch?
Yes, that would be. Tonight it could happen because there are enough people in costume. 0-2 now. Giants and Cardinals are tied at 2 in the bottom of the 6th in St. Louis. Detroit shutting out the Cubs 7-zip in the 3rd inning at Wrigley. And that was John Lester starting. And Morris tied up. Head to the 7th. Joaquin Soria will be taking over for Jay Happ.
Then hangs out with the fans. We saw a couple innings ago, one fan had a nice sign written in Spanish. This is 8-year-old Dominic. He's from New Brighton, and the sign in Spanish basically reads, "Can you please give me a ball for my birthday, Mr. Marte?" And you saw Starling throw the ball, and Dominic unfortunately was unable to make the grab, and it did bounce to another kid, and his father Brian felt bad, didn't want to take another baseball away from a kid. And Dominic, we have one for you right here for your birthday. This one comes from the Pirates. But what kind of fun are you having on your birthday right now?
I'm having a bunch. Yeah? A bunch of fun.
Okay, now, you, your mom, your dad, and your little brother came here, right? We'll grab the sign right here. So you, your mom, dad, and brother came down for the birthday, and you're learning Spanish. Is that correct?
Yes, I was last year, but I was being taught, but next year I wasn't being taught so much. But I remember some, but some I forgot, but most I remember.
That's pretty cool. So what was it like having Starling Marte throw you a baseball?
It was real neat.
All right, man. Well, happy birthday. Have a great time, okay?
Thank you. I will.
8-year-old Dominic, Greg and Steve. Kid's having a blast. He's sweating appropriately for his birthday. He's running around the whole place, driving mom and dad crazy.
Happy birthday, Dominic.
Yeah.
Nice work, Robbie, getting him that baseball. It was intended for him anyway from Starling Marte. Travis Ishikawa takes over at first base for the Pirates. Strike is called. Joaquin Soria.
Eleventh game for Joaquin. '83 pitches thrown by Jay Happ. 6 scoreless innings, a couple hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Tremendous work. Finished up his evening with a very brisk 1-2-3 top of the 6th.
And down on strikes goes A.J. Pollock. Join the Pirates and Pirates Charities as we stand up to cancer at PNC Park Friday. Buccos host the Giants 7:05. Stop by Federal Street, sign the Stand Up to Cancer banner, and check out the raffle items. Plus, all fans get a Stand Up to Cancer cheer card to support a loved one affected by cancer. For more information, go to pirates.com/SU2C. Saltalamacchia. Has walked and flied out. Fans heard the fireworks going off over by the point. The Bob O'Connor Cookie Cruise, 23rd annual cruise, and the event to raise money for the O'Connor Foundation. In the left, Marte, a long run, and well, you wonder if he slowed down because of the ball girl.
That was almost a horrific collision.
Well, that's a no-no. You got to get out of the way. I know she tried to, but
she was out there trying to make the play.
Well, Marte, I think he slows down because, yeah, she was trying to make the play. So he has to back off.
Yep.
Oh, that cannot happen. She didn't mean to, but can't happen. Well, get the out anyway. Lost him one more pitch, but he gets the out. Rodriguez to Ishikawa.
Yes. Clean work by Pirate pitching so far tonight. 2-hit shutout against this good hitting team. Well, in one way, I'm glad he took a last look and found her, because that would have been injury.
You know, I tell you, if it's a close game, well, it's still close, 3-0. If that costs you an out, if it turns out no harm, no foul, but that could have been a disaster in a lot of ways. People getting hurt, play not being made. 2-0 on Jake Lamb.
Good looking fastball by Soria. Right there. These acquisitions that Neil Huntington has made, Soria, I mean, talking about the recent ones, Soria, Blanton, AJ Happ, or J Happ now. It just keeps on coming from Neil.
It's funny too, Steve, because over the winter, not a lot of noise, did make some moves. AJ Burnett returned, the trade of Cervelli, little things that got very little, if any, attention nationally. The big splashes of some of the other teams around baseball, and even at the deadline, some of the sexier names in baseball were traded. The Pirates kind of just flying under the radar, getting the job done. Joaquin Soria, 1-2-3, head to the bottom of the 7th. Some of the great images from the Allegheny Health Network here in Pittsburgh. The Pirates trying to take this series over the Diamondbacks. Great start from J Happ, a 1-2-3-7 for Joaquin Soria. On this Star Wars themed night, Joe Klemchak going to help out on the rotunda. Rooting for Polanco and the Buccos. Aaron Hill takes over third base for the Diamondbacks.
Well, we have a moment. Want to send along best wishes to a great Pirate fan, Kathy Mendel, up in the Newcastle area. Checking in, letting us know she loves her Buccos. Veteran baseball fan. Zach Godley.
Godley just up from the minors. Added to the bullpen.
Good night for Sean.
Man, a real good night. Sean Rodriguez, 3-hit night.
out there and got it, served it out the opposite field.
Three-hit night for Sean Rodriguez. Travis Ishikawa's first at bat. Like to get some more. Again, going back to last night, seemed like a lock. Tony Watson getting ready for the 8th.
What a job he did last night, right in the middle of all that, because it could have been worse with what the Diamondbacks were doing. He settled things down.
We'll get 2 out of it. Wasn't hit all that hard. Wings a quick gun to Ahmed, and then on to first for the double play. Go back to the studio. Rob King in a game break. Rob, thank you. And we will add another pitcher to the ban the DH roster. American leaguer Daniel Norris, who also homered in that game against Leicester. 7 runs in 2 2/3 innings. Giants are leading 3-2 at St. Louis. Sounds a lot better, doesn't it, Steve? If you get down to 4 games in that division.
Yep.
Could be the case tomorrow.
Yep. It's down to perception, how different numbers feel. They fit the eye. 6, yeah, it's over that mile. That 5. Get it down below 5, then you really start to really get interested.
The Giants will be coming to town for a 4-game series. The defending World Series champions for a 4-game series starting tomorrow night. And Charlie Morton will be on the hill for the Bucks, facing the Giants for the first time since they eliminated the Pirates in the wild card game here last year. The Cardinals are traveling tomorrow. They'll be in San Diego for a weekend series against the Padres.
And the Giants have taken a 1-run lead. Yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff. If we can finish the deal here, and they can finish the deal, it's better and better.
Blanco, an RBI double in the 2nd inning against the starter Robbie Ray. Yes, he did. That'll do it. Bucks get the leadoff hit, but then a double play and a strikeout, and Tony Watson will be coming on.
Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Nissan Road ahead. Starters for this series against the Giants beginning tomorrow night. Charlie Morton against Jake Peavy. Friday, it's Madison Bumgarner against Jeff Locke. Garrett Cole starts Saturday afternoon against Chris Heston. Giants have yet to announce who will start in that Sunday night game. A nationally televised game with Francisco Liriano on the hill. UPMC scoreboard shows the Bucks blanking the Snakes 3-zip. As Jay Happ at the first 6, allowing just 2 hits. Joaquim Soria 1-2-3-7.
Tony Watson coming on to make his 56th appearance. Boy, this time of year, anything you can do to help a rotation, solidify a rotation, is just golden when you're in contention. And boy, if this is a springboard for Jay Happ, that's huge, absolutely huge for this ball club. And this bullpen, I mean, Soria comes in 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts, just a shutdown inning, and wouldn't be surprised to see Tony do the same thing.
He faced 4 batters in the 8th inning last night. Had to come on after Jared Hughes gave up a hit and a bases loaded walk to Paul Goldschmidt to force in a run. So Watson came on, got Wellington Castillo, the catcher, to fly out a sacrifice fly, but then Tomas had an RBI single. David Peralta bounced out, and Watson struck out Chris Owings.
Tony Watson has been money. Just call his name, call down there, say Watson, and sit back. There are bumps in the road for everybody, every hitter, every pitcher, but not too many for Tony. Under the watchful eye, Ray Serge.
Ishikawa, 360 spin onto Watson.
Good feed, good lead.
Point Park University tweet from the ballpark. Pretty cool. He's alive. Perfect hibernation. Calrissian. A Wookiee of the year. Very clever.
I understand that one.
Past the mound, there is gone. Nice play. Very nice by Chung Ho Gang.
Yep. Body going one way, the arm going another. Gets it over to Travis Ishikawa. That's a lot of movement to make a strong, accurate throw. And he got it done. Made it look easier than it really was. So he has to square up on the move. Square up as best he can.
Tips to win, R2-D2. Aaron Hill's first at bat. He was 3 out of 7, scored 3 runs last night.
This does not happen to the Arizona Diamondbacks very often. No runs, just 2 hits.
Now 1-2. Diamondbacks have been shut out the fewest times in the league.
times they've been blanked. Veteran Aaron Hill still 2-2 on him.
Good crowd tonight, Greg. More than we had last night, certainly, including that guy and his friend. Hadn't been moving around too much, but right there.
He likes that seat.
Yep, locked in for
that stance.
Yep.
Young. And 1-2-3 for Tony Watson.
No surprise.
Looking for some more runs heading to the bottom of the 8th inning. Starling Marte. Infield hit in the second against Robbie Ray. On that infield hit on the throw to first base, Gregory Polanco, who was on second, tried to go all the way around and was eventually thrown out for the final out of that second inning. Started with a Jung Ho Gong at bat. He was hit by a pitch. Francisco Cervelli singled him to third base. A wild pitch brought home Gong, moved Cervelli to second. Sean Rodriguez, the first of his 3 hits, drove in a run, and then Polanco's double made it 3-0. That has been it.
Very businesslike performance by the Pirates to this point. Very businesslike.
Gregory Polanco with one of the 8 hits. He has also struck out twice tonight. Marte lines this into center. He's thinking 2. That's just unbelievable. He even kind of lost a little bit of the footing rounding first base, and it wasn't close.
Well, he was measuring up the center fielder, seeing how far he had to go to get the ball.
He's got that extra gear. He can just turn it on.
So you're gambling on 2 things: his speed and somebody making an unbelievable play. You'll gamble on his speed. Actually, he knew he didn't have to fly.
He can run. 23 doubles for Marte to start the 8th. So McCutchen has a stake on the table, looking for his 79th RBI of the year. And Buster Posey, the Giants, each with 78. Paul Goldschmidt with 88 RBIs, and Nolan Arenado of the Colorado Rockies has driven in 87. McCutchen has the top batting average in the league in these situations, hitting .389 with men in scoring position. Yeah. He's sure to be in the running at the end of this season.
Yep, it's an annual thing for him. Mark Melancon. All streaks have to end. That's just the way the deal works. It ended for Mark last night, but he's ready to go. Get right back on the horse.
And a base hit. Marte had to hold up. It's first and third. The second hit for McCutchen on base for a third time.
Watch this ball just out of the reach. You know, we talk about Paul Goldschmidt and how good he is, an imposing big figure, but Andrew McCutchen, not that big a guy, but you know, we'll take our chances with Andrew McCutchen all the time. All the time.
Another hit with a man in scoring position for McCutchen. He's the force in that. Infield has to come in. They can't afford to give up a run.
Dangerous business with the way that Aramis Ramirez can hit the ball. Just in case the Pirates do make a lot of noise, score a bunch of runs, Antonio Bastardo ready to work. Well, got both options covered. Pirate bullpen. And options have been covered most of the year by the guys out in that neighborhood.
Two and one. Two and one. Runners at the corners. Line right at the shortstop. Can't hit the ball any harder.
Location, location, location.
Think about his at-bats tonight. That first inning, hit the ball to the wall and left, and Ciarte tracked it down. That would have been an RBI double. Just missed a home run in the third. Flied out again to left. And here he lines out sharply to short.
And usually he's pretty on an even keel. He wanted that one. Almost Ramirez hitting the ball sharply.
Count on Gong.
A couple good players right there.
Yeah.
You wonder what they talk about. I'm sure they exchange a few words. McCutchen, Goldschmidt. All business right now.
And 3-0.
Looks like this entire bottom of the 8th inning rests on Mr. Godley's shoulders. Nothing happening in the Arizona bullpen at this point. That could change.
Loaded for Cervelli. And again, a visit from Mike Harkey. Getting ready for a big hit from Francisco Cervelli to put this one on ice. Giants come to town tomorrow night for 4 games. They have their sights set on the National League West and maybe one of the 2 wild card spots. Right now, the Pirates and Cubs occupy the first 2 slots. Jolly Stormtrooper is ready, as is Cervelli. The infield at double play depth. Cervelli hit into a double play his last time up. There to right. Not a play. That certainly would have scored Marte. Cervelli just trying to get the ball out of the infield with any depth. He knows with that great speed at third, 90 feet away, he'll get a ribby and the Pirates will get their 4th run. Godley, the rookie, trying to prevent that from happening.
Crowd is into this situation right here. One of the many crowd favorites on this Pirate roster.
That he is. Francisco Cervelli. Look at that focus there, huh? Ew, close.
Tough take, but a good take.
And it was a strike.
Makes it even a tougher take. That's Amore. Francisco's theme song.
Down on strikes goes Cervelli. And look who's going to come up. It's a pinch hit. You want to hear a crowd? Listen. Come on, everybody up.
Yeah, get the gloves ready. Not in that direction, but right, center, and left. He's got enough power to hit it out any direction.
And he has been swinging one of the hotter bats. Pedro Alvarez, he got the red cape out. You know what happens when a bull sees that? He aims there.
Yep.
Last 9 games hitting at a .484 clip with 4 homers, 8 RBIs. He has 20 RBIs in his last 25 games. 6 for his last 12.
He could create as much noise as we heard of the fireworks a few innings ago.
Again, the unprompted let's go Pedro chants. Now they go to let's go Bucks from the organ. 1-0 count on Alvarez. Two and 0.
Oh, this is getting juicy now. 2-0 count. Bases loaded. Got to come with a strike.
What was the common line throughout the Star Wars first couple of movies? I've got a bad feeling about this. That's what that pitcher is thinking right now. And the Diamondbacks. Oh, man, that was rifled foul.
Just a little anxious there.
Cole reacts.
Yeah, would he like to have that one back? Every pitcher knows what it's like to be in that situation out there with the enemy surrounding you. 2-0 to a power hitter. Not a fun place to be. But still a sweet place for Pedro Alvarez to be.
Ball 3.
Still sitting pretty.
Anything close to the strike zone, Cole pointing toward the fence.
The Babe Ruth sign.
Yep. He'll take the RBI. 4-0. Alvarez, the pinch hit RBI walk.
Now the hot bat of the night.
He went 4 for 5 for Tampa Bay July 6th of last year. He's 3 for 3 tonight. And ball 1.
And Mr. Godley out there all by himself.
Marte scored on the walk. McCutchen at third. Young at second. Alvarez at first. Broken bat. Liner. Saber in his hand. Max 10-2. Follow the Pirates wherever you are with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet. we're going to get to our Data Strong fan mode of the game, brought to you by T-Mobile. Star Wars theme. Look at that Death Star hovering over PNC Park. Andrew Graham is Tyler Graham's cousin. Our associate director, Tyler Graham's cousin, photoshopped that Death Star over PNC Park. Pretty cool.
It is
a Star Wars themed night.
Hovering. We're hovering over a Pirate win.
The bases loaded walk took the save away, so Melanson sat down. And instead, Antonio Bastardo will try and get through the ninth and keep Mark Melanson fresh for tomorrow. And crowd, Steve mentioned 32,088 on hand on a Wednesday night. They'll be getting ready for the Giants tomorrow night.
Should be a rocking weekend.
Don't forget the Saturday afternoon game and Sunday night. Again, 32,088 on a Wednesday night. For the Pirates to blank the Diamondbacks.
Numbers for Antonio. After kind of a sluggish start, has gradually got it together, has been progressing very nicely, and has become a very good part of this bullpen.
Boy, talk about a bunt, a perfecta, right?
That is, doesn't get any better.
Perfect bunt single for Inciarte.
That's the old drag bunt.
Inciarte, the bunt single. The bench reacts to Bastardo moments ago. The impersonation. Everybody went through the Bastardo getting ready for that first pitch.
His signature becomes the group signature.
Well, with that, Melanson gets up right away. Ahmed at the plate, Goldschmidt on deck. If Ahmed reaches, then we'll probably see Melanson. It will become a safe situation. Time was called. Euclides Rojas, the bullpen coach. Two-0. It's a heck of a play by Inciarte. Two-0 count on Ahmed. And it's 3-0.
I think you're right. I think he's got one more pitch because you've worked very, very efficiently to get to this point.
It's almost automatic these days. Any manager, when it becomes a save situation, he brings in his closer. And we might see Melanson now. A bunt hit and a 4-pitch walk, and Goldschmidt coming to the plate, and Melanson will be coming on. And what is now a save opportunity. Clint Hurdle. We get the baseball from Bastardo and hand it to Mark the Shark. We'll try and begin another streak. Nobody out. presented by WB Mason on Root Sports. Charlie Morton will be on the hill tomorrow night. The Giants and Cardinals are in the 8th inning, and St. Louis tied at 3. Antonio Bastardo has been so much better the last few outings, but that bunt single started it, and then a 4-pitch walk to Ahmed. The tying run comes out the on-deck circle, so this becomes now a safe situation for Mark Melancon.
Here's one of those matchups as you take a look at the numbers for Mark. Certainly didn't get any defensive help last night with the 2 errors that were charged to hired infielders. But he has been just about as good as you can be. And this will be a test.
It was Goldschmidt who hit that hard shot to Sean Rodriguez last night. Rodriguez was playing first base, and it hit off his glove and went into the right field corner to score 2 runs. It was a 3-base error. Ball 1 on Goldschmidt. And a base hit. A run will score. It is 4-1 and nobody out. Ender Inciarte, who started this with the bunt hit, scores on the RBI from Goldschmidt.
Goes out and takes that breaking ball, turns it right back around. Well, you can look at it a couple ways. You give up a run, you get on the other side of him. It cost you a run, but you kept him in the ballpark.
There's A.J. Pollock. He now represents the tying run. This fastball misses to Pollock. He popped up in the 9th inning last night against Melancon. Whoa, look out. Pirates dugout.
And finds the opening in that fence.
So Brad Fisher, one of the coaches. Back to Pollock.
That's just bad luck. You got a lot of protection over there, and it finds the steps.
Clint Hurdle. And there's Brad Fisher. Get out of the way. Pollock has walked, hit a hard comebacker back to the mound, and struck out.
Did Gary Fisher ever get out of the way? And
I wonder. Good call. Good call. And a bunt foul. Interesting.
That yeah, that's
cleanup hitter.
Very interesting. That's kind of a thank you.
Yeah. He has hit into 14 double plays to lead the team as Pollock.
He's also hit 12 home runs. That could be a huge item. I don't know how much damage that bunt base hit is going to do, but it would have kept the ball rolling, I guess, for them.
No, cleanup hitter. You don't see that too often.
No.
Pollock came in 6th in the league in hitting. Stabbed by Cervelli. 2-2, and he might have been crossed up there.
Got all the signs of that being correct with the way he caught that ball. Never easy.
Barrett doesn't seem to be too concerned. 2-2 count on Pollock. Struck him out. 1 out.
Locked him up. He doesn't like the call, but it looked like Mark Melancon just frozen. Take a look. That ball's right there. He got locked up with a breaking ball, kind of a backdoor breaking ball that he thought was going to stay inside. Just dangerous location, actually, to be quite honest, but sometimes you get that surprise because hitters are looking for the breaking ball from a right-hander to go way out the other way, out on the outside part of the plate. You don't like to throw breaking balls inside, but he got away with it.
Saltalamacchia. Ball 1. A battery mate for a time with Mark Melancon, when both were playing for the Boston Red Sox 3 years ago.
Where's this ground ball we're looking for right now?
Two and 0. Antonio Bastardo gave up the bunt single and then the 4-pitch walk. So that run, Inciarte scoring, is on him. Nick Ahmed, the base runner at second, is also his responsibility. Two 2-0 on Jared Saltalamacchia. He has walked, flied out, and bounced out. Released by the Marlins first week of May. Two and 1. And that cost him a bat. That cutter will cost a bunch of players bats during the course of a season.
They think they've got the bat in the sweet part of the bat, and then that cutter comes cutting in on the handle. Oh, these handles on these bats are like no thicker than wire.
Yeah.
They want that torque. They want that speed. There's my crowd shot. Love that look. Out of the shadows into just a ton of Pirate fans.
Two balls, one strike. Oh, breaking. That looked like a breaking ball. Maybe not. It's 2 and 2.
Whatever it was, looked like they nicked that outside corner. See, they want it to start off the plate. Oh, you see that little slide by Francisco kind of helps him get that call. Very, very subtle. Just going with the break of the pitch itself.
Cutter caught the outside corner and struck him out there with the curveball. 2 outs.
That has been so good for Mark Melancon. That change of speeds. Been very, very effective for him. Boy, 2 breaking balls. The cutter, the real true slider, picking up that outside corner, and then the slower curveball. 2 breaking balls, that's a big thing for any pitcher. Where do they go from here? What next galaxy do the Arizona Diamondbacks go to?
Far, far away.
Yeah.
Pirates won't see them again after tonight. David Peralta pinch hitting and pops this one up. And Ramirez going to take a look, but it's out of play. They head to Cincinnati to answer the question about where these D-backs are headed on this road trip. Pirates swept Arizona in April. 3-game series. Trying to take this series.
After a tough first game where they really didn't do much at all with the bats. Then there was one left. How about Mark Melanson coming back with a vengeance, gives up a base hit and then 3 strikeouts to put the lid on it.